Ciliann! Welcome to my art channel. In this video, I'll show you how to paint a wet-on-wet landscape in oil color, Secret Cabin. Enjoy! Here are the colors we'll be using. And we're just going to cover our canvas, our black canvas, with Van Dyke brown in the corners for some darkness, and alizarin crimson in the sky, leaving some patches that are empty. We will add later on some blue color. And continue to cover the canvas with alizarin crimson, concentrating on the areas that will later want it to show through more. So we'll put a lot on the bottom, and a lot on top, and a little bit in the middle. And try to get a nice even coat. Here's our phthalo blue streaks in the sky. And taking a 2-inch brush, we'll start where we want our horizon to start, and putting the most white where the sun should be, and extending up from there in a crisscross rocking sort of motion. Gradually go towards the top of the sky, getting lighter as it goes up, so that the brightest color is the closest to the sun, and further up the sky gets darker. And it's nice to leave spaces, not to cover every part of the sky with the white, so that the sky looks very cloudy and deep and heavy with texture. So for the sun, we'll put some cad yellow, and the very area above the sun will sort of blend the yellow color out gradually. And leaving touches here and there of yellow in the sky. Be sure not to touch the blue in the sky with the yellow paint, so that your canvas does not turn green. We don't want a green sky. Taking a mixture of alizarin crimson and phthalo blue on the brush, you can make some dark purple clouds in the sky, here and there, across the sun, and near the other blue parts, so it stands out. And that's using a fan brush. Now taking some more phthalo blue and alizarin crimson with some black, we'll press it into the canvas and make some trees, smaller ones, in front of the sun, and getting larger and larger as they come closer and spreading out. And taking a little bit of white paint, just a little bit of white paint on the edge of the fan brush that we just used to make the trees, we'll make some light coming through the trees by touching it to the edge of the horizon and slowly dragging it upwards, starting at the center where it's lightest color from the sun shining, and gradually getting darker towards the edges of that forest. And on our 2-inch brush, we'll take some sap green mixed with some yellow, and touching it to the canvas, we'll make our grassy hill. And you see that whichever way you hold the brush and press it down, that will give your hill the slope So if you want it to be straight, hold your brush horizontally. If you'd like your hill to go downwards, which is what we're doing, so you hold it at an angle and bring your grassy hill down towards the water. And dipping the brush into yellow, we'll make lines going downwards, starting with the darkest yellow at the center where the light is strongest, and gradually outwards, getting less color on the brush so that there is less brightness. And then we'll bring the brush across horizontally to give that watery look. And you see how the yellow mixed with the red so that the sky is reflected into the water. Now we'll take some brown and white on our palette knife, and we'll just touch the edge of the grassy hill to give the water a kind of bank. And we'll touch various places throughout the water to give some ripples so the water looks like it's alive. Now we'd like to make a small rocky hill on the left. So using the palette knife and some black, white, and brown paint, we'll just cover this area with different shades of rocks. Leave it with a marbled look with lighter and darker places. And we'll give a smaller area on the right with the same, perhaps a little bit darker, more brown on that side. Now taking more of that dark purple with black, we'll make a bush and a tree coming out from it. Using a large round brush or a 1-inch brush, we'll just touch it, press it to the canvas to give some bushy areas also in the rocks. Now we'd like to give this area some highlights, so we'll use green and yellow with a 2-inch brush or with the same round brush, and just touch here and there, leaving a lot of places still dark. You don't want to take away all the dark parts, so just touch here and there with the yellow and green. And using the palette knife once again, with some dark brown paint, touch the canvas repeatedly to give it a trunk, and using white on the lighter side where the sun is shining, put some white to give that trunk a highlight. And you can do that for the branches too. Now dipping the 1-inch brush or the large round brush into green once again, we'll give this small hill its bushes and grasses underneath the tree and inside the rocky areas. Now we'd like to have a small tree on the right. So with a thinner paint, that will be easy to spread. Using some oil, linseed oil, thin down your paint, and make a nice brownish green tree, thin trunk with branches. And give it a highlight with a knife with some white. Here we added some more grasses at the base of it. Now we'd like to give our tree some leaves. So starting with a darker color first, with a dark green mixed with black, we'll just lay down some leafy shapes with our fan brush. And now we'll make our little secret cabin here in the corner with a palette knife and some red and brown paint. We'll just give a basic box shape with a small roof, and we'll cut into it using the palette knife. Just make a door and give some shape by scratching out little bits of paint with a knife. And here's a small footpath with some brighter vegetation growing on the sides. And we'll give the tree some highlights with some yellow-green. Just touch here and there. No need to fill it up completely. You just want small highlights.